I think Captain America Brave New World might have been the worst movie I've seen in the last 25 years. I'm 25 years old. I just feel like you can tell exactly where this movie went wrong, and it's from conception. It had an idea, and the idea could have been really cool. Kind of like the exact same thing as Captain America, Winter Soldier, like a spy noir thriller type movie where it's kind of a little bit more low level. And that's the vibe that they were trying to go for in the first like 15 minutes. But it's also when you can tell the movie just fell apart. 3 years since we've had any Captain America content. And last time it wasn't really the best content if we're being real here. So it's just weird. Like we just see Sam Wilson, he looks super robotic. He looks like, hey, I really have no idea what I'm doing here. Sam's trying to like find his way as Captain America. But it's like, hey, come up with a solution instead of just keep telling me the same problem over and over again. Why was this a President Ross standalone film? It was a continuation of Hulk 2, bringing up storylines that, quite frankly, I didn't think that anybody cared about. Like, we're talking about Ross's relationship with his daughter, and it's like, yeah, like, that could work if we either saw her throughout the movie with somebody else, or, hey, in the last, 20 years since she's been on screen, maybe put her on screen so we can know who she is and maybe care about her a little bit more. I mean, there were some positives in the movie. I'm gonna say those before I say everything that I really disliked about this movie. Captain America's new suit. Beautiful vibranium suit that was gifted to him from the Wakandans. It looks like Captain America needs a whole lot of armor just to be in the same realm. And that's okay. That's okay. Sam Wilson was a part of all these great fights, but I don't think that Sam Wilson can be the A guy. And aside from Sam Wilson having a brand new suit, and maybe a little bit of mention of having a celestial in the ocean and what that means for the world. One more good thing that I really like, the way that the MCU introduced adamantium and how they're kind of saying it rivals vibranium, but it's better than vibranium. Because that's gonna be our direct way to introduce the X-Men in the near future. So I like that. I'm intrigued how they're going to, how they're going to basically say that the X-Men have been living amongst the humans this entire time adamantium is on the planet. This movie could have been an email. Not everything needs to be a 2-hour feature film that has months of reshoots and rewrites and recasts and storylines that make no sense. Because if we're going from top to bottom, this movie chronologically made no sense. And let me tell you guys why. Captain America, Steve Rogers, we're talking about Chris Evans over here. Steve Rogers, the reason why he works so well as Captain America is the super serum. He is strong, he is superhuman. He can jump quick, run fast. Sam Wilson, great Falcon, but he needs his suit. He needs his super suit, because without his super suit, he's just a regular civilian. Sam Wilson not having super serum, the most that he can be is a street level hero. And that is okay. Some of the best comic book characters are street level. So stop giving me street level heroes doing alien level stuff. It's okay to have tiers. It's okay to have ranks. Steve Rogers can be up here. Sam Wilson, you're here. And it's not an insult to you. But the MCU needs to understand that, hey, not everyone can go and beat Thanos up. Sometimes you gotta go and just I don't know, beat up nobody. We had a chance to have Giancarlo Esposito as one of the greatest villains in MCU history. We could have had Giancarlo be Doctor Doom. Instead, we're recasting the same people over and over again and using Giancarlo in a 10-minute scene. He had 10 minutes of screen time in the 2-hour movie. The whole thing about President Ross, he goes from being this psychotic general, this wartime general. Ross had the line, I was a wartime general, now I'm a wartime president. The way that President Ross usually wins the election is because he's charming, he's sincere, he knows how to manipulate, he is a negotiator. That is who President Ross is. Why is Harrison Ford giving us the stiffest performance ever? What happened to Harrison Ford? Red Hulk, cool. By the way, we saw 95% of the Red Hulk footage in all of the trailers. This was a Red Hulk build-up film that we got in the trailer. I really like the banter between the three Captain Americas. We had Captain America with Isaiah Gibbons, and then we had Falcon and our new Falcon. That was really cool banter in the limo. And then it kind of just went downhill from there. It kind of felt like nobody had any chemistry. We have Bucky and Sam Wilson talking on screen. Really great scene, probably the highlight scene of the entire movie. And then at the end, they just let them banter back and forth. You let Sam Wilson be this charming guy that we need in this movie, and we got it for about 3 minutes in the entire movie. Why? One of the smartest characters in the MCU, like, we're talking super smart. Why did he look like an idiot? Why did he look like he would come runner-up on Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? And the runner-up would be a 6th grader. And it's not an insult to Sam Wilson, it's just like he's not so smart. Also, having Sam Wilson start the Avengers? Why? No. Like, you can't have Sam Wilson start the Avengers because what you're trying to do is have Sam Wilson replace Captain America, it's not going to happen because Captain America was this whole superhuman and Sam Wilson wasn't. Sam Wilson is like the street level Avengers. You need like Sam Wilson, Hawkeye, like the people that get TV shows. You know, like there's TV show heroes and then there's movie heroes. Sam Wilson's Captain America is a TV show hero. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was like a decent show. It wasn't great. It was like a decent show. I really enjoyed it, but it was decent. The movie, garbage. Terrible. This was a Hulk sequel. This wasn't even a Captain America movie. It's like they wrote the movie and it was probably good. And then they went through all of these revisions to be like, well, we need to close up some Hulk loose strings. Like, no, we don't. I'm sorry, we haven't had a Hulk movie in like 20 years. We don't need to have another one. It's okay. Like, we've all come to terms with this. And then having a Hulk sequel that's a direct sequel from the 2008 movie, and then not have Bruce Banner in there, not have the villain in that movie show up, and we know he's still alive in the MCU. We know the Abominable thing is still alive in the MCU. Like, we know these things are true. Why are we settling for less? I think the issue that the MCU has right now, truthfully, the issue that the MCU has is it's put itself in a hole. We have so much content that we have to choose from. We have TV shows, we have movies, we have like what? I think it's like 30 movies now and like at like maybe 10 TV shows. That's 40 pieces of content that all go into one story. And there's so much information that we have no idea what to do. The reason why the first Avengers, like the first 11 years worked is because everything led to one story and it was cohesive. We had our street level heroes. We had our smaller heroes and our larger heroes. We had issues, we had dynamics, we had team ups. And then we're going now to movies that have no story, are all about space, are all about something that keeps on changing, and there's no actual direction of where we're going in the future. We have no idea where the MCU is going to go with its storylines. We have no idea what the main story points are going to be. We have no idea who the characters are going to be, the teams are going to be. And we're approaching all of these Avengers movies that are supposed to be huge events, and there's more questions than answers. And there's never going to be enough answers because you can't just have one movie explain everything, because it's just like, what's the point then? The whole reason why the first MCU 11 years worked, why the whole Infinity Saga worked, is because every movie left us with questions, yes, but more answers than none. Every movie's post credit was for the next movie. And it was always like a really nice thing that we could look forward to. I left this movie theater, not a single person watched the post-credit scene. I really don't think the MCU is going to stay the MCU the way that we see it and we love it right now, if it has one more flop. And I'm not saying the MCU is going to like cease to exist. I think they're going to be lower budgets now. I think they're going to be much smaller storylines. You need to build your shots up. Get those easy movies in. Give me like really small, really interesting, really fun level stuff. And then give me something a little bit riskier, you know, that mid-range shot. And then after, when we master the mid-range again, let's go back out to the 3. Let's get, you know, shifty with it. The MCU's not shifty anymore. And that's an issue. That's an issue. We gotta change that. What did I miss about my rant about this movie? Alright. To say that this movie was written by AI is an insult to AI. Genuinely.